Welcome to Tales from the Flipside, bringing you another crossover episode with cover picks. I'm super stoked about this. We're going to cover over store variants over 2021. And yeah, we'll do introductions to everyone in just a second. That's going to be on my first thing of things to do. Make it a better intro video. Add something to it at the very least. But welcome in, everyone. It's great to have you, Ninth and Dark Evolutions. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then we'll get into Josh.
Yeah, no, me, the Ninth Wonder, been on the channel before plenty of times. I know my show cover picks every Wednesday at the exact same time that we going live now. Um, if you haven't seen the show, stroll over there to my YouTube channel and click follow, subscribe, or whatever you call it on the YouTube platform, and check out what we've done in the past. I'm gonna throw an alley to my boy Dark Evolution Comics. He's one of my co-hosts on our normal cover pick show, which we just go over the FOC books. When we reach out to other channels to do content, we try to go for more specialists like the one that we're doing tonight with the top store variants of 2021. But with no further adduction, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Dark, introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, thanks, guys. New here to this channel, but I'm like Ninth said, I'm over on his channel every week, every Wednesday. We do the FOC picks that are coming up, and we go over what we think are going to be the hot picks for that coming week so that you can build your collection a little cheaper instead of chasing those books afterwards. So you can also follow me on Instagram, and someday I'll probably show up on Whatnot selling some of these books I have way too many of. But love being part of the community, and thanks for inviting me on the show tonight.
Cool. And then if you're interested in their channel, click on the description. It'll take you right to their channel, and make sure to subscribe to them because you don't want to miss out on those FOC books and then get FOMO. So, what's up, Josh? How have you been?
I'm good, dude. How are you? Josh Allen here. I am no longer Pee Wee Jr. 87 on Instagram. It has changed to International Comics. Yeah, I know. I'm psyched to be here. This is my first time, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a crossover episode before with Cover Pigs. I missed the drunken chat one, so I was like, we need to bring it back on Flipside then, so I don't miss this one, and early enough where I didn't fall asleep. So, but let me go ahead and share some information before we get started. So, Cover Pigs crossover comic draft logo. Great work, Ninth, or was it Eric Hurd that worked on this?
Yeah, it was Eric Hurd, man. I don't get that ain't. I can do a little bit in Photoshop, but no, that ain't my lanes. The idea that I had, the only thing I contributed to this was putting the flip side tape normally where the Ninth Wonder logo would be. I thought that would be a cool touch. But yeah, that's all Eric Hurd, man.
Yeah. I haven't heard from him in a while, but I hope he's doing well. But yeah.
I'll talk to him. He's helping me work on some stuff for my wife's comic book that I'm trying to get out. As well as I know the last time I talked to him, he told me he was working on a project. I'm not sure if he can talk about it publicly, so I don't want to say what it is. And then I know he told me he had some other stuff he was working on, so I think he's just busy more so than anything else. But he was watching Drunken Cover Picks last Saturday. So he's in and out here and there.
Yeah. As Mighty Mel V would say, Rookie of the Year, right? We got to pick a new Rookie of the Year for next year, right? All right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's some young blood that's been watching all our different content, and we'll probably end up taking one of our spots at some point in time. Oh, he's right there in the chat. What's up, Eric?
He always watching, man. The real one.
Yeah. Well, the this episode is brought to you by Bird City Comics. They had just dropped their She-Hulk issue, issue 1, first, second, and third print. I believe this cover is done by, is it Greg Horn that did this one? So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I mean, what a smart idea. I mean, I know Ant is a big fan of Hulk 377 because he has first, second, and third prints like graded on his wall. Like, yeah, what a, you know, what a ingenious idea to do. Like, where it's like it's still a tasteful homage and stuff like that, but like, oh yeah. And then they also have their Stray Dogs Dog Days #2 dropping, where they're doing, the originators of the Goosebump homage. And from what I've heard and seen, that this is the first appearance of this dog on a cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Josh is a big fan of Stray Dogs.
Yeah, dude, I love these Goosebumps homage covers. That's like right in my childhood. So
Right? I still have the first one, and I'm just like kind of like, what do I do with it? Do I just hold on to it? Do I keep it? Like, I was like, do I just give it away on Whatnot? I don't know yet.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, make sure you head to their website, birdcitiescomics.com, and give them a follow on Instagram, Bird City Comics on Instagram, and then I like to sign up for their on their website. You can sign up for their notifications through text messages. That's been super helpful because like they'll let you know like, hey, this is dropping in 5 minutes. You have access to it now. You can purchase this book, and it's like kind of like, oh, like especially for those books that sell out in like 5-10 minutes or whatever. Like it's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just signed up for their text alert the other day, and I was happy because they gave me a 10% off coupon, and they got some good books on the site, man. And there's a book on there I'm not telling nobody that I'm looking at that I think I'm gonna buy. But with the 10%
sure.
off, it makes it just the right price.
Yeah, I mean, I went ham during their Black Fridays though, and I bought a few slabs, ratios, like I bought a lot. So, but yep, and that was the last slide I had to promote. So, but I think you said you had some honorable mentions for our upcoming cover pick draft. You're muted.
Yeah, I do. But before we get into the honorable mentions, I wanted to kind of give a huge shout out to one of the coolest dudes in the community. I don't even want to call him an up and coming star because I feel like he's already here. But I'm gonna share my page really quick, my screen really quick, if you don't mind. So, Illis Umanati, aka Javan Jordan. I done met this brother plenty of times. I met him here in Dallas at Fan Expo. I met him at Chicago at C2E2. Really good dude, man. And when it comes to store exclusives, he been lining the pockets of a lot of these online retailers with the work that he's done this year. I think I haven't done the count. I can't remember 100%, but I think he might have the most books on this list. And being that it's a really slim list, only 15, 16 books, man, that's a really big accomplishment because there's a lot of good variants that came out this year. And I think the thing about it is that when y'all see the books that's on the list, you won't even doubt that it was other books out there that were better. You'll probably say he had books that he did that was better than the ones that ended up making the list. But I kind of take into account everybody that's feeding me books to put on this list. I kind of, if I see a book more than once, more than twice, and generally that's what makes me put a book on the list. But just kind of looking through, his page. Obviously, he just dropped this Stray Dogs Dog Days homage um, for the Human Centipede homage. And it's one of those things. A lot of people saying they were tired of the Stray Dogs Dog Days store exclusive already, but I see a lot of people saying that they like this. And every time you have one of those exclusives where people are saying, "Oh, I'm tired of seeing this book," or exclusives on this book, man, he generally does something that makes people say, "Well, hell, I will buy that." I actually saw him draw this live in person. The
Remark.
sketch, yeah, this remark of the crying Jordan, the crying Jordan face on the Jordan rookie card homage for Gun Honey 3. Um, he got the Mona Lisa. Now he did a remark on this in invisible ink or glow in the dark ink. So if you got this book and you slabbed it up and you hung it on your wall, when you cut the lights off at night, it'll start glowing. And it was like he did like an outline of her skeleton, where her skeleton would be. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome. Or just put a
yeah,
black light to it or something. Oh, there it
yeah. I'll
is,
put a
right?
black light to it. Yeah, here it goes.
Yeah.
Cut the lights out. Boom.
That's dope.
That's sick.
That's sick. That's sick, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay for creativity like that, man. Either you got it or you don't. That's not something you can go out and buy. Some more looks. His Department of Truth, zigzag / chronic homage. His Do You Poo, Swamp Dogs. Another Department of Truth. Marilyn Monroe, House of Slaughter. He just got a unique style, and man, he does some dope stuff. So if I just had to throw my hat in the ring to pick a cover artist of the year for store exclusives, I would definitely say it's this brother right here. I don't think it's too many other people that we could throw out there that really has been putting in the type of grind and effort that he has when it comes to these store exclusives, and keeping it fresh and creative at the same time is a big thing in my book, and I feel like he does that pretty well.
120%.
And
yeah.
so I kind of wanted to see everybody show at least one of their favorite books that didn't make the list that was a store exclusive, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting the draft set up so we can get that started.
All right, let me look at the list real quick to see if I can notice anything. If you're ready to share your screen, go ahead. I know one that I really liked. Let's see.
I'm not ready yet, so we have to be Paul or Josh.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta grab one here.
All right. Here is one. Oh wait, I'm gonna change it. Last second change. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. Here is one I really enjoyed this year. The Department of Truth number 11, the Zoo cover that Bird City did. Just Zoo, like they've been doing like some crazy work all year. I think I first noticed that artist was when they did the Something Is Killing the Children cover for issue, I think 12 or 11. I can't remember which one. But yeah, when Bird City said they were doing a cover with Zoo, like for the Department of Truth, I was like, oh, sold. Like, so this is one I really enjoyed, and then I'm still enjoying the series too, even though it's like those books are in a bit of a dip right now. But man, can't beat conspiracy theories. Yes, Empire Comics. This is on 2 channels. This is on Cover Picks channel as well. It's a crossover episode, so we had to share it out to both. But other people in the chat may not see everyone's chat, but we can see everyone's chat, if that makes sense. So I don't know which room you're typing from.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share my one of my picks here. Share screen. Hopefully this works. Okay. Let me know if you can see this. This is from Joel's Are Collectibles. This is House of Slaughter #1. This is by Alan Kaw. And,
I don't have it yet.
No? All right,
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if I can do it another way here. Let's try that. You guys see that one?
No, I don't have the option to select it.
Oh, all right. Come back to me. Somebody else share.
Put the link in the private chat. How about that?
All right. Yeah. There you go.
Ooh, good pick. All right.
Yeah, there you go. I think if you go to that middle picture, it'll be the Virgin variant. And then if you click on the picture, it'll blow up. Make it a little easier for everyone to see. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just a dope cover. A lot of stuff going on. I've really liked the series so far, and obviously it's a great kickoff of the Something is Killing the Children. It's a great spin-off of that. What can you say? Tiny Onion is doing some awesome books. He's a great writer, so the art's awesome too on top of that. So I'm really digging this series along with Something is Killing the Children. So this is definitely a cool book for me.
Oh yeah. After you sent the link, I was like, crap, I might have to buy this. Just imagine with a claw cover that he did for Something is Killing the Children.
Yeah.
Through Scott's Collectibles or whatever. So yeah. So definitely probably need this in my PC personally.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm also enjoying that spin-off series. It's definitely not as good as Something is Killing the Children, but it's a good. I mean, but what spin-off series has ever live up to the what it based off of?
Right.
I mean, there's probably a few exceptions to the rule, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any picks for us, Josh?
Dude, I went into this totally blind. I don't even know what books made the list. So I'm experiencing this all for the first time.
Gotcha.
Did the Banksy homage, Department of Truth 9, make the list?
Ooh, let me double check.
I don't think so.
Because
I thought you could see the books that was in there, Josh. My bad.
Because if not, that's what I would pick for.
All right. Yeah, let me find that.
I don't think that's on there.
It should have, but I don't think it's in there. So
no, it's not. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Let me pull that up.
That would definitely be my pick.
Yeah, I know that you and Blue Green Artifacts were big on that book.
Dude, he's put out some crazy. He's done more than that. His covers are just awesome.
Oh, Chen Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me try to find a page where it doesn't have a billion ads popping up. All right. But yeah, I liked how he did a follow up too with issue 10.
Mm-hmm. He did a cover for What's the Furthest Place from Here too.
Yeah.
And a couple other books, but yeah, that would definitely be my pick.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's definitely a name to watch over the next year.
Yeah, I always seem to find out about his books too late, and then they're already sold out, and I'm like, you go to eBay and they're like $400 or $500 a piece, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, when you have print runs of 200 and stuff like that, it's always you find out about, and then sometimes when you see that price tag too, where it's oh, it's $100, and it's kind of I don't know, and then after it sells out 3 months later, 2 months later, oh, you want a copy? $400, $200, like whatever. And it's like kind of like, it's like
And then sometimes you still debate it, and then it goes up even more, and then you're just like,
yeah, and then it just disappears, gone forever. But yeah, yeah, I think we're ready to start. Like our fifth person is not able to join.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna show off my
Okay.
honorable mention, and then we'll do the wheel of names to see who gets what draft pick. But my pick is my screen showing?
Yep.
Sorry, I don't got my dual screen set up. So Eve number 1, the Boom Studio exclusives. This was limited to 250 copies. Sold out pretty fast. You know, it didn't even make it a couple of hours, I don't think.
Yeah.
But up and coming artist Marcus Williams did the visuals for this one. He also did a Dark Blood number 1, which is another Boom Studios exclusive, limited to 250. So it kind of gives you a set to chase. So I hope they keep doing this with this artist, and you know, putting out these exclusives to some of their newer to some of their new series. I like, you know, it being directly from the publisher because I feel like it kind of is a different avenue than your typical store exclusive. You know, the 250 is, you know, it's pretty low too, so that makes it a little bit more collectible. I can't wait to see if Eve or Dark Blood gets option, and it, you know, and it starts to, you know, those books start to jump up on the market, and see what these limited to 250s do. It's going to be a real interesting it's going to be a really interesting thing, because at 250 and it coming directly from the publisher, that easily has to be the lowest print count, you know, on either one of those books. But it's kind of like Aaron says, is it a first print, or do you consider this a second print? Because it came out, you know, months after after the first print. So it's, you know, it's a really good debate to be had there.
And I'm still going to put an asterisk to it too. Does it really count as a store exclusive if it's from a publisher as well?
True. That's another good conversation to have. Yeah. But it's interesting to see the publishers hopping on the store exclusive game. It's, you know, pretty much where I'm going with this. And, you know, I always thought that a good way for Marvel to sell books or sell Marvel Unlimited subscriptions would be like to have random drops. Hey, the first 250 people that sign up, you will get, you know, this, you know, exclusive, you know, comic book, or, you know, to kind of help push those unlimited subs, but still keeping things, you know, at the essence of, you know, the goal is to obtain physical copies of the books. So just interesting, man, where store exclusives is going. And, you know, just people, it's a lot of controversy behind store exclusives. Some people like them, some people don't, but it's clear they're not going away, because people keep spending money on it. I'm one of the people that say, oh, these stores not getting my money this year, and still wind up spending money on, you know, somehow, some way on these books. So.
Well, you know, what really surprised me over the last year was, you know, when Diamond and all of these other publishers were saying that, oh, we're not taking back returnability on books, and then the only books that we are taking returnability is if you have like no more than what was it, like 2 covers, and then you could return up to like, I think like 50% of it or something like that, like where they put a lot more restrictions, so people weren't just, you know, buying out their inventory to get incentives and then return all their open to order books. So I thought with that coming into play, that, you know, store exclusives might have gotten a little bit more hype to them, if you will. But I mean, you know, with that hefty price tag, I think that's what still like keeps it where it's at.
Yeah. And about that IDW stuff, I just bought a book from them because they did a Last Ronin 5, and it was a John Boy cover, and it was pretty dope. So I was like, all right, snag. And then to answer that one question, yes, I have seen that Tupac cover. I was able to get 2 of those, so super pumped.
Nice.
I don't know if you remember, Josh, but I was hating on that Tupac cover. It's like, I don't mind them doing the Tupac cover, but I was like, man, they could have been more creative to it. But now, man, that cover has kind of grown on me a little bit because I like how they put the store on the chain. They made the chain with the store's name on it. I was like, you know what? That is kind of dope. And yeah, they did simplify, but they used the classic Tupac photo. And then it's one of those things where they didn't overthink it. They just kind of let you come to the conclusion yourself. Department of Truth, conspiracy theory, Tupac death was a big, conspiracy theory. So in hindsight, I'm kind of feeling that book now, and I went and looked up some of the prices, and I was like, nah.
We have another retailer watching. We have Jonathan from Hive Comics watching. I hope we nominated one of his books.
Did we? All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna do the random wheel to see who picks where. Now, this is what we're gonna do. Whoever gets the third pick is gonna get to pick any book that they want to be their fourth pick. So it's only 15 books on the list, but it's gonna be 16 in total. So whoever gets the third pick, you're going to get the ability to go outside of the list and select any book you want at any point in the draft that wasn't on the list that I initially submitted here. And then at the end of the show, we're gonna let the people in the chat decide who had the best draft. So let's spin the wheel and see who gets that first pick. Well, what do you know who won the pony?
So is this one we call shenanigans, right?
We do,
man,
yes.
it's looking pretty bad on me because on Drunken Cover Picks, I got the first pick. So that's good. It's looking pretty bad on me, dog.
I'd like to say this is new, but...
everybody thinks I cheat on this game.
Hey, can you show us the settings for the...
No. We don't need to do all that. So Dark with the number 2 pick. All right, so third is either gonna be Yee or Josh. Let's see who's getting that. Oh, it's Aaron Yee. Yes.
Oh, so I get the special card where
so you get the special card. Yeah, you get to pick whatever book where you want. And then Josh, you'll be last. But the good thing about that is you'll get back-to-back picks. So that's pretty dope.
Do I just pick it throughout the draft at some point?
Yeah, whenever you want to do it, you can just say, hey, I want to choose a book that's outside the list.
Oh, and, well, we already know what it's going to be. It's going to end up being that Chin Porter book. So
slap it on there now.
See, if I was cheating, I would have.
It might be something else. I don't know.
I would have gotten that third pick. See. I try to tell y'all, I'm an honest man most of the time.
Ooh, I do have something that's not on the list that I'll pick, but I'll save it for later. And it's not the Department of Truth. It's a Something Is Killing the Children book. So, it's not Something Is Growing the chicken.
That book.
All right, let's see. We should be able to start the draft now. Draft order has been set. Don't lie, you cowards.
I don't even know what I'm going to pick first. So many good choices.
I know what I'm going to pick first. It's a book on here that's just easily the best pick, man.
Oh, it's obvious. I already know what you're picking.
Super
Here
obvious.
We go. Dude, Jonathan, that's all the books we're picking. We're just picking nothing but Marat covers.
It's all poo books.
Yeah, every single one of them. No, I don't even think there's one on there.
Mm-mm.
Oh, there is a Hive book on here. I see one. I'm sure he can guess which one.
All right, so we should be good. I don't know why this thing is jerking me around.
Do people even read those? I don't know if I would spend $20 to read a book, like unless I could not find it anywhere else. To me, it's more of like collecting the cover art, right? Uh, the anything in the interior that's just a bonus to me. Like as someone trying to like maybe resell some of the books and stuff like that. Like I'll give you a perfect example. Do you remember when Venom 3, Tyler Kirkham had a cover uh, for through I think like Unknown, and whenever there was like big null hype again, like I unloaded copies I got for like maybe $5, like where it was just like kind of like gone, like so like already knowing some of the interiors from reading like open to order covers, like a $4 copy or a digital copy, like that just makes it easier, because expensive paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
All
Oh
right, we
man,
ready
I
to
know what book I
go.
want.
All right, we're ready to go now. Yay! All right, so with the first pick, I feel like this is a no-brainer. This book has been incredibly hot since I think maybe this summer. I can't remember how long ago it came out exactly, but this book has not slowed down since it came out. I feel like it came out to a lot of controversy, and people didn't know how or whether or not they wanted to accept this book. But I think it's clear now. This book is accepted by the comic book community for the most part. Um, and amazing artwork, and a great company behind it. I'm gonna go with the Invincible #1. The foil variant. That's been one of the big books to chase. This year, all of these Invincible variants, the trade dress, the sketch, the Virgin, but especially that foil has been a big book for people to chase, and to try to get in high grade. And I think it's a little bit of two things. I think being that you just couldn't go to a website and order this book. You had to get it, through the whatnot auctions most of the time. It was Tyler Kirkham had some, and a few, and I think maybe Skybound had some. But it's only been, whenever this book has been up for sale on the website, like on Tyler Kirkham's website, you had to buy the whole set for $1,500, and it was very, very, very limited. But I think Whatnot, being such an innovative company, and then of course Invincible being a wildly successful show, and the first print of that book was super duper low, and it's hard to get a high grade copy of that book. There have been other printings, but they don't look as good as the artwork that Tyler Kirkham did on this book, and the print runs aren't as small as it is on this book. And so this has been a huge book to chase, and I think we would be remiss if we didn't give this the #1 spot. And seeing Whatnot, do something different than most comic book, most apps are doing, most marketplace platforms are doing, and making their own store exclusives. I think that's a great addition, to the hobby, to have a retailer that's going to be out here doing something. Well, I can't even call them a retailer because they really not, selling. They not, really selling this book, for a profit. They just kind of putting it out in a community and letting people chase this book. So, man, just a unique concept in everything, on how this book was handled from top to bottom. So, got to give a huge shout out to Whatnot, Chancellor, and Jack over there doing big things. So the #2 pick is gonna be you, Aaron. No, it's not Aaron. That's you, Paul.
Yep.
So what do you have in store for us?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be as quite detailed as as you just gave us for Invincible.
Ooh,
It's
I
quite
like
the
that
breakdown,
subtle
sir.
jab.
Yeah, subtle, just subtle. I'm not that. I don't have that much wind in me, I guess. I'll go with the J. Scott Campbell Rogue cover of X-Men 1. This has been another hot book right since it came out. Similar to the Wolverine that came out as a C2E2 exclusive in 2020. This one's been really hot. It's, at least a couple $100 pretty much anywhere you look, and it goes up and down, but it's a hot book, and people continually want it, so I think it's a pretty safe bet on this one.
Yeah, great pick. Yeah, those negative variants, like, whew. And when J. Scott Campbell did this, John Tyler Christopher was the one that started it all out, and then even his Rogue negative variant went up in price. Like, as soon as the Banana Wolverine came out, then this one dropped, and then everyone loves the '90s like X-Men stuff, and then as we can see, we have X-Men '97 coming up. Yeah, smart pick. And then like I had a chance to buy it, and I was just like kind of like, when I was reading all the fine print, it scared me. Like, just knowing how Reed prop ships, and then like, we're out of bags and boards. We're gonna like steal the bag some weird way, and I was just like kind of like, well, I remember how you sent out those Luke negative variants. Like, I with a flimsy like board, like I'm just gonna go ahead and pass, because like, just that damage factor, right?
That's the exact same thing that stopped me from ordering it. I kicked myself, but what can you do?
Yeah, I was, man, $25. I was like, you only live once, bro. And I was glad I picked those up. To be honest, I sold both of them on Whatnot, but I mean, I made way more than what I paid for the books. I wish I would have. Bought more of them, because of the fact that even though they did ship them in a bag and board, it was poly bag with a little thin board in there. So I wish I would have ordered a few more, and maybe I could have got one that was like really, really high grade, like a Surefire 9.8. But the ones that I did get, I would say they were 9.6s, potentially 9.8s, on the right day. But this is a beautiful book, and I would have really liked to have that, in 9.8 condition.
Would we call this one the broccoli Rogue cover? Because it's like the banana Wolverine. Is this broccoli green?
It's the broccoli, the broccoli Rogue.
Or lettuce. The lettuce like makes you lettuce.
Or lettuce, or asparagus.
Yeah. Anything that's green veggies, right?
Right.
All right. So I guess I have the third pick, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I am gonna go with the Star Wars High Republic. This is from a comic book exclusive. So I thought this was a great cover. They sold them in sets, and it was limited to 600. And one thing I appreciate when companies do sets like that they send you matching COA numbers. So that's something I always
That's a nice
appreciate.
factor.
Yeah. So I mean, I sold the Virgin, like, because I'm not a big Virgin comic collector covers. Like, 6 months from now, I'm not going to remember what cover this was. I mean, this one was pretty memorable because you have the Clone Wars homage to it, and then High Republic. It's not a. I feel like it's a pretty safe bet with like just Star Wars in general.
Yeah, and wasn't their first? See, this would have been a good draft to have Bad Boy, because he's all over his Star Wars High Republic and High Republic Adventure spec. I believe there was so there was several first appearances in here.
Yeah.
But I mean, that homage, man, like this was a dope homage to me. I like the way this this came out.
Well, and then for me, it was also a placeholder until I could get a Clone Wars one. Like, just that's the way I feel about getting homage covers. Sometimes it's like, all right, what's your goal of a book to get? And then sometimes like you can sell these like for a decent amount of money to help you get closer to that goal.
Yep, yeah, that's very well true. That's one good thing about store exclusives, I gotta say, is that you never really know which books are gonna pop, and there's so much going on in that market that it's very easy to miss a book. So there is some leverage in being able to keep up with store exclusives and building relationships with those retailers. So, you can try to get you some, some of those exclusives. Try to guarantee you some copies, man. The store exclusive game kind of reminds me of, the sneaker game, in regards to how fast some of these books sell out. Like before you even have a chance to click the buy button, like it's gone, and you're like, whoa, what, what happened? So that's an interesting aspect to the store exclusives to me. Which look, man, the comic book game has a lot of niche markets. You have some gold, silver. You have modern variant collectors. Store exclusives is just another avenue in the game, for a certain type of collector. Some people only like stuff that's exclusive, that's not sold everywhere. So, I guess with these store exclusives, it's just another way of supporting a small business, and help keeping the comic book hobby going. But on to the fourth pick, we have making his cover picks debut, International Comics, aka Josh Allen. So Josh, I know I forgot to put some international comics on here for you.
That's all right.
His modern spec game is killer still though too.
Yeah,
Don't sleep on it. Yeah.
You got modern spec game. So where you going next, brother? Where you going with the
All
fourth?
right. So my answer is probably going to be super short because this is just going to be like straight from the bottom of my soul. I got to go with the Department of Truth 13, the Follow the Leader Korn homage. And that's just because, Korn was like a big part of when I was in like middle school and high school. And, I love jamming out to that. Like, that's just nostalgia right there for me.
Yeah.
That you was a fan of that Freak on the Leash, huh?
Yeah.
Or Adidas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adidas.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aaron.
The one thing that I thought was really cool with this, not only is it, friends of the show, Bird City Comics, they're also from Arizona, which is where McFarlane is from, who did the original with Capullo.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was just like, when they lined that up like that, I was just like, kind of like, whoa, that hits on so many different levels. Like, just like the nostalgia factor, like, being from Arizona, like all that, just like, I think it helps a lot. This book sold out like instantly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still want this book, man. I still want this book bad. Like, I feel like this is like the perfect homage. You know what I'm saying? It's like the perfect homage cover.
Yeah.
Man, it's just, and I miss this part of the '90s, man. Like, I remember people from every race, nationality, creed, whatever you want to call it, like rocking out to Korn, bro. Like, man, when you in the '90s, it was different, bro. You just couldn't get on your phone and listen to whatever music you wanted. You had to watch what was on MTV. At that point in time. So it was plenty of Red Hot Chili Pepper songs, Korn, music that I normally wouldn't listen to, that became some of my favorite songs just because, that was just the way, things were set up back then. And, this just brings back a lot of memories for me. And I love it when those two things, kind of come together and you kind of get that nostalgia, but, you put that modern spin on it.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I
right.
want to. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, Josh Allen, you got back-to-back picks since you were last.
I was just gonna say real quick, and I'm pretty sure that issue is like where they started exploring the origin of the lady in the red dress.
Yes, you might be right about it. It's either 12, 13, or 14. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Man, one thing about Department of Truth is I don't think people talk about the keys from that book, from that series a lot, and especially since it's still ongoing and that book is still being ordered a decent amount. Like, people don't talk about the first appearance of Magic Man, and looking back at some of those store exclusives that came out for that issue 2, first Starface Man, and some other first appearances throughout there, and origin stories and stuff like that. I got to go back and do a deep dive and reread through everything to figure out the exact issues again. but it's some money to be made there, man. Because I feel like that show is gonna get option because we just live in a time where people love conspiracy theories, man. People love a good conspiracy theory, and I think that show would do so well on the HBO Max or something like that, where it can be 45 minutes, uncut, unfiltered type of show.
The crazy part is I don't know what it's coming out on, but it is optioned, and
Oh,
I never hear anybody talk about that. Like the
yeah,
books are still like so cheap.
yeah. It's with the daughter of the Murdoch family.
Yes, so it was
It's a-
something like that.
Yeah, which was which
It
is
was
quite fun. It's quite funny that that family decided to purchase that option or IP, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah, it was like I just stumbled across like a random like article one day and it just talked all about it and I was like, "What?" And you just never
Yeah.
hear anyone talk about it.
It pops
Yeah,
up
it
every so
looks like
often.
it looks like it was optioned way back in April, and
Mhm.
you're right. I don't hear anybody talk about Department of Truth anymore. I was kind of thinking like, am I the only one reading this book anymore? But I thought it's a great story. You have to really be paying attention to catch some of the directions it goes, because not everything, it doesn't jump issue to issue where it's a cohesive story from the last one necessarily, but
Mm,
then a couple issues later it all links back to each other. So you
yeah.
kind of have to pay really good attention to it for it to make sense. But I think it's a great series. It's too bad it's not talked about more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
One last thing I wanted to say is I was looking the other day and I was finding 9/8 of issue one cover A for under $100, which is ridiculous, bro.
Mhm.
There's no
Yeah.
way that book is gonna have to come back at some point in time and get to a $200 to $300 slab. Also, issues of Stray Dogs #1. I've been seeing those for below $150. Even at $150, I think that's an absolute steal. So, man, if y'all got any extra money, I would definitely be on eBay and any other place that sells graded comic books, grabbing up some of these modern keys because once tax season roll around or once the next spec news comes back around, that stuff is gonna go right back up in price, man.
All
All right,
right.
John. Yeah,
Let's go second pick. I got to go with the homie Mr. Jordan and I'm going to do the Department of Truth 13 for my second pick. Just to add on to a lot of what Ninth was saying earlier, I started following him back in his Kickstarter days when he was writing the Salve. So I have a bunch of the Salve books by him, and he is just hustling like every day, every night, 24/7, and he's made a huge splash this year, and I I don't think he's ever done a cover that I haven't appreciated, and I love what he brings to the cover game. So this has definitely got to be my number two.
great pick.
Yeah, great pick, man. I remember I was, me, Paul, and Bad Boy were arguing about is this a chronic homage or is this a zigzag homage?
It's
And
both.
I feel like it was a
Yeah.
zigzag homage because you see Javan do a lot of these brand homages, like the the Morton Salt homage, which got banned by Morton Salt, and then he did a Campbell's soup can homage, which is also I think it's a double entendre because I think that's also an Andy Warhol or
hmm
homage as well, if I'm not mistaken. So
Hmm.
just, the boy
It-
is smart, man. Fucking
do,
double homages, like come on, man.
here's the art history coming out of me. Do you know why Andy Warhol painted the Campbell soup can?
No.
So every day for lunch, he used to eat a can of Campbell soup, like for I don't know how long, like since he was young or something like that, like into his adulthood. Like that's what he ate for lunch every day. Was a
Nice.
Yeah. So
The
that's
more you
why
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so pumped when he announced that Morton Salt cover was going to actually be print was going to become a cover, and
Mhm.
then like it was just like crushed when he said that it wasn't going to be a thing anymore.
All right. Are we doing snake style? So it's my turn now,
It's your turn.
or
Yep.
okay? Uh, I'm gonna go with Hive's books. Stray Dogs #1. The what is it? The what?
Blair Witch Project.
But yeah, Blair Witch Project. Because like I'm so scared if I don't pick it, right? But no, I mean, when it was definitely known that this book was optioned before they even finished writing it and everything, and then as soon as like more people found out about it, like this sold out. Anytime we've had James or Jonathan on the show, they've even said like, when more and more people found out, they forgot to cap how many they had on their website because they like to hold back some for damages and all that. Like they sold exactly at the right amount before, like, where they couldn't even pull copies for themselves or anything like that. Like, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
So
rough.
yeah. So, but I mean, like, you know, I, I think there's always debate of like which book is the one to have. Like, is it the acetate cover? Is it this cover? Is it something else? Like,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
preview book.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a smart pick. Like, because like especially if you're trying to collect all the horror homage covers, like you'll still need this one. And if you have this one, every other one's going to be easy to collect, depending on what you bought into it for, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true, man. If somebody can get all of those horror homages, man, you a bad boy. You a
Well,
bad boy, man.
I
Trust me,
Some
think
of them
it's
are hard to get in.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's already multiple people that have that, and then at the same time, like I feel like it's a good reach for people outside of comics to start collecting into it, where it's like, oh, I have to have everything that's Jason. I have to have everything that's Freddy.
Yeah.
Whatever their niche is or whatever. Then
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I'm in a Stray Dogs Facebook group, and it is wild. There are definitely people out there that have the full sets of everything.
hey, but to promote your book on here, you have to send me 10 copies.
Oh, are you in that group too?
No, I heard about it though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but that was a great pick. I mean, I know a lot of people got burnt out. I was one of those people, but man, when they started doing all the new exclusives for Dog Days 2, I fell right back into it.
Oh, Knife. I haven't been selecting my books. I've just been kind of like saying.
No,
Is that
I've been selecting them
okay?
over here in the background. This is a
Cool.
different
I was just
experience because normally I'm driving and doing the selecting, but I like it better with you driving and showing the books off and me
oh
just in the background making the picks. Yeah, this is a lot easier.
oh yeah.
All right, so who is next? It's on you, Dark Evolution Comics.
Yep. One thing I'll just mention on Stray Dogs too, if anybody hasn't seen it, another great store exclusive that didn't make it on the list was Rabbit Comics had a Dexter homage, and that was a really dope one too. That I'm glad I picked up on. That's a great cover. For my pick, I will go with, where did I see it? I'm going to go with one of the books I did pick up as a store exclusive this year, and it's Wonder World, the Ultimate Fallout 4 cover.
The Jurjovic.
Yeah, the Jurjovic Virgin. I mean, the original is already out of most people's buying rate, so it's inevitable, I think, that this one is going to, once people realize there's an homage to it, it's probably going to at least hold its money value pretty well, if not go up pretty decently. Is it going to get you what the original is? No, but I think once people realize that this is out there, they'll they'll want to grab onto at least a little piece of this one too.
Oh man, I'm just waiting for Dennis to pop into the chat saying, "Did someone say Jurjovic variant?"
Right. It seems like every time this book comes up, he pops up in chat. But man, I'm gonna stand by this. There are gonna be a lot of upset people when this facsimile pops off, and it's gonna be, man. It's this book is controversial, man. This book is controversial because it's a facsimile. But my whole thing about it is the Lamo. I was seeing that selling for over $1,000 in a 9.8. That's essentially that's a reprint. To me, the facsimile is superior because it's printed exactly like the very first time that book came out. Same ads and everything. Reprints aren't the same. A reprint to me is no different than a True Believers, which is just a reprinting of the comic book based on whatever ads and everything else is, in that going in that book at that point in time. But this is printed to the exact same thing as the original book. It's a book that most people do not own, especially in high grade. And it's not some goofy gimmick cover. It's that same beautiful artwork that everybody loves, man. It's just this book is gonna have its day in this book is gonna have its day in the sun, and once this book explodes, it's never coming back because keep in mind it's only 3,000 of them, and by my math, that's less than the original Jerkovich 1 in 25 for Ultimate Fallout 4.
Is it though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ultimate Fallout 4 had like almost 900,000 copies printed. So 1 in 25.
Okay.
That's simple. Look, I'm not a scientist, but that's simple math, brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I know that the 1 in 25s did end up in like 5 and below packs and stuff like that. Fun fact about that. And then so like one day I was like deep diving to like try to find 5 and below packs during that time period to see if you could pull those still. Like that would just be incredible to find like still sealed packs from that time period.
Yeah, you never. I'm pretty sure they out there somewhere. It's in somebody's attic or some kid's collection that left it at his parents' house. We'll see some pop up, probably few and far in between, but I got a feeling we'll see them pop up.
Good pick. All right, I think it's up to you now, Knife, right?
All right, it's on the big. It was a big bad Dundada. Oh man. So, hold on. Let me make that pick for Dark. Now it's officially on me. So I'm gonna keep this real quick because I've been running my mouth a lot this show. My next pick is gonna be the Javon Jordan Department of Truth Nirvana homage. And just thinking about the 90s, thinking about how iconic that Nirvana album cover was, and the flip that he put on this man, it's cold-blooded, man. And on the dollar bill on this, I think that's Kennedy's face on there instead of George Washington.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if anybody ever noticed that before, but that's definitely I'm gonna have to ask Javon that, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is on there. So just a little neat detail that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, does kind of look like Kennedy.
Yeah, like a kind of like a swipe to the issue 1, or even the prototype cover. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my next pick is gonna be issue 2, the John Gallagher cover. I think this was a Chamber of Chills homage?
Yeah, Chamber of Chills 19. Shout out to One in Comics, Drew. Keep on knocking them out of the park, man.
Yeah, this cover was, man. I remember when this came out, man. This one went fast, bro. I didn't even get a chance to get this, but I was like, man, that's sick.
I remember when this dropped, like it crashed their website.
Yeah.
And then they had to list them on eBay and stuff like that, and those sold out instantly as well too. Like as soon as they dropped it on eBay, like gone. Like I don't even think I had a chance of buying it. Like, I mean, I've had opportunities since then to pick up copies, but at the same time, I was just like kind of like I don't it's like I want it, but I don't want it.
You don't want to pay the resale price for it.
Yeah, I mean, but somewhat like I think when haha like kind of fell off the map, like it went back to the original retail price, but it's still retained.
Yeah, I love this cover. I'm a big Golden Age guy, so obviously the original is just a little bit out of my price range. So whenever people do like homages to that cover,
Yeah, what did that 9.6 sell for? Like 100K or something like that?
yeah, dude, it's that, and that cover like went crazy like out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a Misfits fan too, like you have to have a copy.
True. So Dark, it's back on you, brother.
Oh man, we're getting tight now. There's getting to be some pretty equal ones here. Man, I guess I'm going to go 2 Miles books in a row. I'm going to go with the IG Comics Miles cover. Not so much book spec itself, like storyline or anything. I just like some of these bright, vibrant colors that they are throwing on books these days with the advent of digital art. We're getting artists really blowing these covers out and making them crazy, and love the colors, love how well everything stands out here, and Miles really stands out against this background. And once Miles hits the MCU, basically all his books, well, maybe not all of them, but a good chunk of them are these exclusives, and the harder to find books are just going to blow up. So this one will definitely get you some money someday.
Is this the one that came with a trading card?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I missed out on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I follow this page because the company is like actually based out of Houston, and I like how they show videos of them like destroying their extra copies and stuff like that. So like when they say it's a 600 print run, it's like a 600 print run or 1K, whatever it is. They usually have a booth set up at any major con in Texas. So I'm pretty sure we saw them in Dallas, right?
Yeah. They was there. Yep.
Yeah. So cool dudes, but yeah.
All right, Yee, it is back on you, brother. Don't forget you got that wild card pick, so you can choose a book that's not on the list if you choose to do so.
I was gonna save that for last because you gotta save the best for last, right?
Yes, sir. Cool beans.
I'm gonna go with the Nice House on the Lake. Like this cover was just beautiful. Like whenever it dropped, like Drew did outdone and stuff with this. With the artist that he worked with on this. I can't remember the cover artist. But all those small little details of like the skulls, like within the water and stuff like that. Because like if you look at it far away, it just looks like ripples in the pool or whatever, or in the lake. And then like when you get closer down to the details, like you see all those skulls and everything. But it's a DC Black Label book. I think it's still, it still has potential to it. James Tynion IV wrote it. He said in his letter that he's going to finish writing it as well, because it's still even though he's not writing Batman, he's still writing any of his creator-owned properties. Oh, John Gallagher. All right, thanks, Mojo.
Hey, I think John Gallagher tied Javan for the most books on the list.
Oh, nice. But yeah, and I like how they did the trade version, the minimal trade, and then a virgin copy. So
yeah, I remember this was on the hot 10. Honestly, a lot of these books was on the hot 10 that made the list, but I definitely remember this one being on the hot 10 when this summer when Nice House on the Lake was on the tear, man. People were tripping over their own feet trying to get that book.
Well, I mean, it's in a dip right now too. Like I would be picking up like first prints if you can find them, like probably for no more than $20 right now at this point, I would imagine.
You know, they say in the stock market, man, buy the dip. Buy the dip, bro. It's the perfect time to buy the dip on a lot of high profile, on a lot of high profile indie spec books right now. Josh, is back on you, brother.
All right. Dude, this is so nerve wracking. I just sit here and I'm like, please don't pick my book. Please, please. So far we're dodging bullets. I have to go with the We Live 5.
Nice.
I don't even like. It's not even about the cover or like the spec for me. This was just a really great story, and 5 is a key. It's your first app of the Pelodians. It was just a great story. Like it just had like such that twist at the end, where it made like this whole 1 through 5 series like a prequel almost. And it's coming back in March with 2 series at once, and I hope it keeps the steam from this first run.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love this book, man. I remember when I first found out about this book, man, I was like so pissed off because I couldn't find it nowhere, man. But We Live, man, they got some sneaky books out there for the series, man. If this ever blows up, good lord, man, it's gonna be a lot of upset people.
Yeah, there are so many exclusives too. That's the only thing I didn't like, is that there are so many exclusives to like every issue of this series. But other than that, it's an amazing read.
Yep.
How many metal covers are there now?
Like 6, something crazy
Wow.
like that. Because they just had one
Yeah.
at C2E2. Aftershock did a blue medal of issue 1.
I feel like
Mhm.
I feel like there's 6 per issue. I mean, I know number 1 has at least like 4 or 5 medals, because you have the green, blue, and red medals, and then there were like some store exclusive like second, third, or fourth print medal. Like it's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it is that, man, I'm not even sure that matters anymore because some people got that Pokemon mentality. You know, collect them all.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if we're going to go nuts on a series for having too many store exclusives or variants, I mean, Department of Truth. I mean, they're all awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to collect them, but holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50, 60 covers in some cases to certain issues. That's nuts.
Yeah, let's talk about collecting Killing Jokes, right?
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah. Well, I was even gonna say Stray Dogs, because there's like almost 80 or so covers for
Oh, for Dog Days, yeah.
Dog
Mhm.
Days too.
Yeah.
All right, you got one more pick, Josh.
All right. Now it gets a little tough. Those were like the ones that I really wanted. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go. I don't even know. Let's do.
I feel like you're gonna do this one.
Oh, I'm not even. Which one? You know what? Let's do that one. Let's
Are you
go.
really?
Let's go with the gun honey one. The Lao. The no nips. Racy cover.
Is that what it's gonna be known as now? Like the
No
nipple
nips?
cover?
No
the,
nips.
The no nips cover?
I can't lie. I haven't even read past issue 1 on this. I know it's optioned and it's going to become a TV series. But I mean, this is like, when I saw this cover, it just blew my mind. I know he's been working on a lot more of his realism. Well, he just did like his last like super realistic cover, he said. But yeah, this was a nuts cover, and it went bonkers. It was selling. I don't know what it's still going for, but I know at one point it was like $300 a pop.
Yeah, man, these like gun honey covers got fatigued real fast, but man, this is definitely one that stood out from the pack. I think, man, people thought that Hughes was gonna be the one. Man, this blew that out the water, man.
Yeah, this was secretly the one.
cheapest one on eBay right now is $200 ungraded.
Wow.
All right, so it went down about $100.
All right.
It's ungraded, but then condition might be a factor into that too. So
Yeah. Yep. The one and only 9.8 is 500 or best
Mhm.
offer.
Wow.
So that's a solid pick.
yeah, that's a good deal if you think about it, because it's gonna cost you about $50 to get the book graded,
Mhm.
another 30 to ship it, to CBCS or CGC and back.
Yep.
So you might as well subtract what, $80 off of that. You basically paying $420 to guarantee a 9.8 for a book that can easily go for 300 raw. Yeah, I would sign up for that.
Yeah.
And this is our last pick, right?
No,
think so.
Dark has a pick. I have a pick, and then you have your mystery pick, Aaron.
Okay, so
So
okay.
Dark, you either get the Sabine Rich She-Hulk cover, or the Miles Morales 23, the KL new uh, version, which was Frankie's Comics, and the other one was a Comic Time Mystery Mail Call.
I've just got done picking 2 Miles books in a row, and I know how much you love him. I know how much you love him, Ninth. So I'm gonna leave him for you, and I'll go with the She-Hulk. Nothing wrong with either one of them. I do love the watercolor look on this. You don't see that a ton, especially in comics. So it's kind of cool to see some watercolor effect to that. That's a pretty dope cover for sure.
Yeah, it is, and I feel like this was a sleeper cover.
Yeah.
We could see this one pop off when the She-Hulk show
Yeah.
comes around. That's gonna be interesting to see if this book, gets some traction. But man, this is a dope She-Hulk cover to me that kind of went, overlooked. I'm not sure if it was because it was in the mystery mail call, and that it's kind of, yeah, you really, I don't think sometimes on a mystery mail call, I don't think it's any. Um, you don't necessarily feel that rush to run out and buy it, because it's not like guaranteed. Oh, am I going to get the trade, or am I going to get the version? It's kind of up, in the air like that. I think if people, had a choice to like go to a website and buy either the version or the trade dress, some of these mystery mail calls will probably move a little bit faster, because people will be rushing to get whichever version of the book that they want. But so this book doesn't go for a whole lot on the secondary market. I just thought from the art perspective that this was one of the more slept on covers of the year, because like Paul said, man, you just don't see that watercolor style a lot in comic books.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That was a good pick.
All right, and then this is your pick, right? 9.
Yeah, the first and only basketball cover that I'm gonna acknowledge, because after this, man, Frankie sent this idea out, man. They just did way too much. I remember when this first came out, man, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely gotta have this. This is one of the first store exclusives that I broke, my rule for. And surprisingly, this book still sells for over $100 and 9.8, and it's consistently strong at about $40 raw. So I Miles, man, he defies all rules of comic book physics. Whenever you say, oh well, that won't be that won't last, or this won't last. Like, remember when Ultimate Fallout 4s was selling for over 3,000, then they dipped back down, and people say, oh, it'll never get back to 3,000 again. Went right back to 3,000 in the same back over 3,000 now, man. So, man, the kid just keeps on winning, man. And you know he had a few books, he had a few covers on here. I just think, man, Miles is just different, man. And as much as people want to give Marvel credit and praise for the MCU, like, we really got to take our hats off to the way Sony is handling Miles, because if this was like Fox, we would already be on our second Miles reboot, bro. Like it would be bad. You know, we'd be like, damn, it'd be like that Godfather meme. Look what they did to my boy. You know, they would have just murdered Miles. But Sony, they taking their time with it. You know, they letting it breathe, throw him in a video game, throw him in an animated movie, you know, keep his ongoing series with Marvel. They letting it breathe and they letting that anticipation build. And I like the fact that they doing a lot of little stuff with Miles. Like, I was looking on the website and they have like a whole line of Miles Morales like kids clothes, like pajamas and you know shoes and stuff that you could wear to school. They got the new Spider-Man and Friends cartoon with Miles, Gwen, and Peter, which I feel like for Sony, that's their big three. Is you know the Spider Verse is Miles, Gwen, and Peter, and it's just interesting, man, the way that they constantly build that they. I mean, I feel like there's not a Miles book that you can buy that would be a bad investment at this point. Like,
It's nuts about their agreement with Marvel, Bill. I don't know if you realize this or not, but Marvel actually owns any TV rights to Spider-Man. So anything that's a TV show, they could make a TV show tomorrow if they wanted to and put it on Disney Plus, and it can have Miles and everything, and they don't have to include Sony at all. Sony only owns the movie rights to the Spider-Verse and all the Spider-Man stuff, and the games.
Well, some insider information I've heard is that like certain characters can only be used like in Sony if it's been in 2 or less issues or 2 or more. I can't remember. It's one of the two. Like so, one gets one if it's 2 or more issues in comics, and if it's 2 or less, then the other.
It's really sloppy. It's really sloppy. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, so they actually have someone that they were sending out to do like here's a pile of comics. Tell me if they're in more than 2 issues or whatever. So.
Yeah, Miles is hot, and I think it's always just going to be that way. I mean, I was talking to Aaron the other day. I bought that custom Miles skateboard deck that I'm going to hang on my wall. Like, I mean, I'm 34, and I just bought, you know, Miles Morales skateboard deck. So
I'm debating still if I'm going to buy that either the Doom one or the Wolverine one. Like, but I probably don't have the extra money to spend yet. But we'll see.
Is it by Primitive?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Primitive is man. That's a hot brand.
Well, they were doing those Dragon Ball Z ones and all that before that. So for them to do, you know, Marvel characters on skateboards, oh, that's smart. All right, and then for my wild card pick,
don't do it.
Nice.
Did it show?
Yeah, this is funny because Paul, didn't you put this on the list of books that you submitted to me?
No, I think we covered it on one of our FOC. I think we brought it up there, but I didn't bring this one up. No.
It might have been me.
Yeah, somebody just put this on the submission list. Maybe it was Aaron. I don't know.
It was probably me.
Yeah, I didn't put this on the list, but God, dang.
You know, I think I gave you the Comic Tom exclusive "Something Is Killing the Children" one. I think that's why you might be.
16 is a key, ain't it? 16 is a key.
16 is a key. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you have, you know, I guess first full appearance of Jessica. I mean, I would still argue 9 and 9 second print as the first cover, but she's not named because she's not named until issue like 12. I think Josh and I were talking about that at one point in time. But then like 16 is definitely the start of the origin story arc. So I guess you could still say it's Erica's origin into the House of Slaughter and all that. And then you definitely have multiple panels with Jessica in it. And then, so I mean, 16 was definitely Berserker print run type book. But yeah, I mean, I still love this cover. Ivan Tao, like he's just been like building a name for himself and like, you know, doing all kinds of covers now too. I mean, you know, they did a homage to Department of Truth with this. So yeah,
I love this pick because Yeah, I mean, this is a great cover. And like you were saying, he's got a bunch of cool stuff coming out. Like he started doing stuff for Grim Fairy Tales and all that stuff. Like he's got some killer stuff coming out.
Yeah. And then the buy-in for this book was like pretty cheap too when it first dropped. I think it was like $25.
Mm-hmm.
But it had a weird drop because this dealer is located in the UK, so their drop was like at 3 or 4 in the morning or something like that. And then I was like, I'll just buy 2 copies. And then I think like within the next day, sometime like 10 a.m., noon, whatever, like they sold out. And then like copies instantly started shooting up to like $150, $200. I mean, I have no idea what it is now.
Yeah, I missed out on this. So
Yeah.
womp womp.
Yeah, I sold my extra copy on Whatnot. So, which it fetched like quite a bit because I did a Something Is Killing Your Wallet.
Oh yeah,
So-
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah. So I mean, I did nothing but Something Is Killing the Children books, and then whew, that was a fun sale. And yeah.
Do you regret selling it, or are you pretty happy with what you got for it at the time?
I'm pretty happy with what I got for it at the time, and I still have a copy.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. But I mean, my last copy, I don't know if I should let it go or not. It's like kind of like one of those things like I mean, I do have the print, so I'm okay if I do sell it.
I feel like you have to keep it.
Cheapest
Right?
on eBay is $215 with shipping.
Ooh, I might have to cut
You-
their price.
You are like whenever I have a question about Something Is Killing the Children, I'm always like, hey, Aaron.
Oh, that's true. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do that. Like any of the shows I'm connected with, they're like, hey, what about this issue? And it's like kind of like, yeah. The only other person I know that's like really on top of it was a Dollar.
Mm.
Yeah, like him and I will like discuss that every so often. So it's mainly been sports cards recently because that's something new I'm been getting into. But
Yeah, you definitely.
but I'm still
crazy
known
over
for my
sports
comics.
cards right now. Yeah, you definitely crazy over the sports cards right now, bro.
Hey, it's fun, man. Like, and if people want to take that gamble, I'll let them.
Yep. Like, man, I like getting on and breaking wax with you, man. It's fun, you know. It's just, essentially you just chasing that big card, but when you finally get that big card, it's worth it, man.
Yeah. That's why I always buy at least 2, Trace. At least 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's books I bought like 10 copies of, if not more.
Yeah.
Oh, for issue 10, I bought 25s just to get the incentive. And I'm kind of glad I bought 25 copies of that because, you have Death of Aaron in that.
Good Lord. Did you do
Spoiler alert.
Did you do pool box with
I mean, they're about to start
Lucas,
issue.
or-
Yeah, I did it through the pool box on with Lucas, and then wait, yeah. I mean, since that issue's already out, we already knew what was going to happen with how House of Slaughter is going to conclude, if you will. Like, it should not catch anyone by surprise, like in my opinion, but it probably could still.
but do we know for sure that he's dead?
Yeah, because you see his arm decapitated off, and then they confirm he's dead in like issue. I think it's like 14 or 15. I want to say like they have his body.
15.
Yeah, they have his body like carried out into a stretcher and all that. So
I feel like it's one of those things where he's dead, unless the House of Slaughter spinoff starts doing really, really good, then they'll find a way to bring him back.
yeah. All right. Before we sign off and then exit out, I want to thank again Bird City for letting us show off their She-Hulk copies. So, first, second, and third print of a Greg Horn cover, homage to 377. We have the She-Hulk series coming up. Don't sleep on them. And then they have their Stray Dogs Dog Days book number 2. The originators of those Goosebumps homage. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, make sure to follow them on Instagram and check out their website, birdcitycomics.com.
I'm honestly surprised that Stray Dogs didn't sell out.
Oh yeah, especially like if they're gonna have a first appearance of a character on the cover and stuff like that. Like
well,
that usually.
That's for issue 2, I think, and they did another Goosebumps one for the issue 1, and that one sold out like super fast.
Oh, for their trade paperback? Yeah.
No, they did another. I think they did another one. They had another one too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've done a few of the Goosebumps homages. Like they did for Department of Truth. I want to say they did another one for Stray Dogs as well.
Yeah. Then they just. I thought someone just did one for Monkey Meat. Was that them too?
Yeah, that was them too.
Yeah.
They did one for Monkey Meat. I mean, there's a lot of different covers to. I'm waiting. Like some of the later covers is like when I was really big into Goosebumps. I mean, like I got some of the early ones too, but those later books were some of my favorites.
I think there's an Ice Cream Man one too.
Yeah, they did that one for.
So like a Night of the Living Dummy one, I think maybe.
Yeah. All right, so Ninth and Dark Evolution. Where can we catch y'all next?
You can catch us on my YouTube channel. Just type in The Ninth Wonder. In the YouTube search bar, exactly the way you see it. Down here. And I never figured out how to do that, but just type that down in the search bar, and it'll pull up my channel. Go back and look at the past issues of cover picks. A lot of those books are already off of FOC, but it's still like good for seeing what books to spec on, which probably haven't blew up yet. So just go check me out on YouTube and IG.
The link is also in the description, but let me drop it in the chat as well. Let me double check and make sure that works. All right. And Josh, where are we going to catch you next?
You can catch me on Instagram at International Comics. You can catch me on Whatnot under International Comics. I'll be going live on Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern because me and some guys are doing the 612 con every Monday now. And then random Flipside videos when I decide to pop up.
Nice. Yeah, you can catch me on IG and Whatnot at YeezyYee. Since I'm on vacation, I'm just gonna be popping up random shows at different times. I think I'm gonna try to do a comic show on Friday at some point in time, and then probably break cards all weekend at some point. And then I'll probably still do my normal either Saturday or Sunday night. So, yep. And then tomorrow, tomorrow we'll have we'll have our Modern Playbook roundtable of highlighting different books that we picked up for the year. Some of our highlight pickups that we're most proud of. So we'll probably do part 1, part 2. Because we have a lot of members on our team, and then so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I want to give a huge shout out to Cover Picks for joining us for this great crossover. Definitely enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure. I'm supposed to be working with Comic Book Women to do a crossover episode with them. It's supposed to be the women versus the men, so a battle of the sexes. So hopefully we get that all that ironed out, and we'll be seeing that soon. So it'll be fun to see what type of books we draft for that.
Oh, that's perfect too for y'all because it's 3v3.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. So a lot of great things looking forward for the next year. So we want to wish everyone a happy holiday and have a happy new year.